This is, whoops, hold on, let's fix that really quick. This is the video this is the solution video for the mirror challenge. These concepts are similar to those in CMU CS Academy 2.2.3. So while it's not an answer to any of the checkpoints or the exercises, hopefully this can help out a little bit with some of those ideas. Just really briefly, you were given skeleton code that does this. It makes a little smiley face wherever you click. And the goal is to, can I do this quick enough? Ooh, yes, I can. Okay, let's see. It got blocked. All right. The goal is to make a mirror type situation where as you click, it actually creates the smiley face where you clicked, but then also the mirror image across. And it'll work going this way, but it'll also work if I click on the right side, it'll make one on the left. So also, I gave you all a hint that, you know, you're just going to do draw face again at mouse X, mouse Y. Well, you're going to do draw face again. You're going to use mouse X, mouse Y somehow, but here's where you have to start playing around. You know, I could just give you the answer outright, but I kind of want to play around with how you might think about doing it. So first of all, over here, you'll notice that whenever you click, and maybe I'll reset and run it again. Whenever you click, it makes a second face. And if I hold control, I can see I'm at 3654 for the center, or sorry, 3653 for the center of that circle. And if I hold control over this, it's 36453. The important part to note is that the Y values are unchanged. So when I'm trying to get my second draw face, I feel like I should be keeping the Y the exact same. The Y is not changing, but for the X, I should change it. Now, I'm observing, all right, as I click here, it looks like the face is to the right. So maybe I'll just try making the face at mouse X plus 50. And when I run it now in my test, I make two faces, but it's definitely not a mirror image. It's just kind of like right next to it, right? So that's not really great. Maybe you think, okay, my thing is to, what if I just make it even larger? Like if I do 200 and I try running it now, that looks a little bit closer. The issue is watch, if in the current solution that I have, if I click to the left, they both move to the left. If I click to the right, they both move to the right. If I'm far enough to the right, it doesn't make one on the left side. So while we got something going here, it's not quite right. Where here, if I click far out, it's kind of mirrored that close to the edge on the right side. If I click close in, it's mirrored, it's coming closer in. If I click on the right side, it's going to make one on the left side. So this is not just taking, right, whatever I clicked on and adding 50 to it or adding, 200 to it. The next thing to do when you're trying to solve this type of thing is to hold control and then try to see if you can come up with a pattern between these two. I have 81 and 319. So I might even, I'm not going to write things down, but I will, maybe in a comment here, if you had a piece of paper, I might write these down. 81 goes to 319. Okay, let's see what else. 151 goes to 249. 151 goes to 249. Okay, I don't see 81 to 319 is a pretty big difference, right? If I do 319 minus 81, that's 238 of a difference. If I go to 249 minus 151, that's 98 of a difference. It doesn't seem like I'm consistently adding the same thing here. Let's see. Let me rerun this and give you some really nice numbers. And hopefully with some nicer numbers, you can start to see the pattern. To get the nice numbers, I'm going to look at the thing down here. So there's just some nice, clean numbers. Let's try, I'll try that later. Let's try at 50 in the x. So if I start at 50 in the x, it goes to 350. Okay. 50 to 350. Let's keep going. What if I do 100 in the x? 100 in the x. So as I'm moving right, it's moving left. 100 in the x goes to 300 in the x. So 50 to 350, 100 to 300. Okay. 100 goes to 300. This is a difference of 300. This is a difference 200. The amount that's changing is not constant. It's changing around. What if I did the opposite? What if I did 300? It made it go to 100. Oh, so it's going to be doing the exact kind of like opposite thing, which, makes sense. Let's try one more that hopefully this kind of weirds you out a little bit. If I do 200, notice it looks like I only make one. 200 stays the same. I can't really think of a great way for you to be like, I don't know. I guess I'll just give it away at this point. It's hard for me to think of. I guess the one last little clue I'll give you before I just give away the solution is if I think about this, this 100 is 100 away from 0. This 300 is 100 away from 400, right? I know the minimum is 0, the maximum is 400. Similarly, this 50, it's 50 away from the left side, 50 away from 0. The 350 is 50 away from 400. The 200 here is 200 away from 0, and it's also 200 away from 400. So it looks like I'm using something in relation to the extremes of my canvas, 0 on the left or 400 on the right. And hopefully that's enough. If you want to pause the video, try a couple things out in your line 16 here. Hopefully that's enough for you to get it if you play around a little bit, but I'm going to give the solution right now. So pause if you don't want to be spoiled. Whoops. I'm going to delete these things. Those writing those comments didn't really help. Sorry. So I'm definitely still using the mouse X, but the trick here is I'm going to do the maximum canvas minus the mouse X. And this should now give us that solution that we had from before. And let's actually try to figure this out. So now that we know the solution is 400, the maximum canvas minus the mouse X, let's take a look at these. If my mouse X was 200, I do 400 minus 200, it gets me the thing in the middle. If my mouse X was, in this one, I click 300, the mouse X was 300. If I do 400, the maximum minus that 300, well, it puts it at 100. If the mouse X was at 100, I do 400 minus 100, it puts me at 300. And then finally, if I do 50, 400 take away 50 gets me to 350. It's not easy to kind of figure out, but if you play around with it, think about the constants that you have in relation to the canvas. Think about, look at some different examples, hold control to see what's going on in the solution. Hopefully you can kind of get that realization at some point. I hope this was helpful, or at the very least interesting. At the very, very least, I hope that a light bulb popped in your head after I gave the solution. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We're done. There's nothing else to say here.